The image on the screen, The Master Key to Riches, is a book written by Napoleon Hill. Most of us know Napoleon Hill from Think and Grow Rich. You know, if we don't step out and make use of our talents and abilities that we were given at birth, we're going to spend our entire life helping other people reach their goals. We shouldn't allow somebody else to take the steering wheel of our life. You know, what kind of sense does it make to hand over the keys to your life vehicle to somebody else and ask them to drive you to your dreams and goals destination? What's going to probably happen is they're probably going to drive you somewhere that you don't want to be. You know, we must be in a continuing learning and education program. You know, I buy books all the time. I attend webinars almost on a daily basis. I attend seminars. I associate with people who are more successful than me. And so we never get too old to learn. You know, I remember read something Benjamin Franklin said, and he said, most men die at age 25, but they don't bury them till age 65 because they're waiting on the body to catch up to the mind. And so what Ben is saying is, you know, we stop learning. You know, we stop dreaming. And, you know, we just get into a life of basically comfortable misery. You know, if we don't decide what's important to us, we're going to only do what's important to other people. And as an individual, you know, before you get married, whatever, you should have some things that are important to you. If you have a family and kids, you know, y'all should have a family mission statement and talk about things that are important to the family. But too many times we spend a lot of our time working on dreams and goals that have nothing to do with helping us accomplish what we say we want. You know, if you and I could kick the person that is really responsible for most of our problems, neither one of us would be able to sit down for several weeks. and we have a battle going on inside our mind. It's like having an internal civil war. You know, because every day we're working on helping somebody else accomplish their dreams and goals, and we've put ours on the back burner, so they've lain dormant for several years, and they're aching and crying to be realized. You know, we should give our productive time to the things that challenge us the most. You know, after we've been doing a job for so long, you know, we kind of get on autopilot. And right now I'm reading a book by Larry Winget titled, it's called Work for a Reason. And he said most people are only spending about 50% of their day actually working. And the reason their bosses don't say anything because they only spend half the day working too. You know, and there's a book I read and it talks about working in the morning and in the evening at two different places. And it says you keep working at them because you never know which one is going to benefit you and your family. You know, so we have to stop this civil war that's going on. You know, the person who never changes his or her opinion never corrects his or her mistakes. You know, we see people all the time that would defend their faults and errors, which only proves that they have no intention of changing them. You know, it reminds me of a story. You know, this gentleman, every payday, only time he would drink was on payday. And when he drank, he did it up. He would come home almost broke. And his wife told him one night, she said, you come home drunk and broke like that again? She said, I'm going to leave you. And he begged her not to leave. And, you know, she told him, I'm tired of it. He said, well, I promise, dear, I won't do it again. And so the next payday come around and his buddy started prodding him a little bit. Come on, man, you know, you normally go drink with him. He said, no. You know, I told my wife I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to hang out and drink like that anymore. And, you know, so I'm going to go home. Oh, man, come on with us. You know, a couple drinks won't hurt. He said, all right, I'll go drink a couple and then I'm out of there. They say, okay, so they go. And next thing you know, he was having such a good time. Time had passed by. He had drank way more than 2 drinks. And he realized his pocket was a little light. And so he told the guys, I got to get out of here. And so he's trying to think of a story on the way home. And so when he gets ready to put his key in the front door, his wife is sitting there working on him, waiting on him. And she screams at him, where have you been all night? And he said, well, honey, you know, we had a lot more work to do today. And, you know, it really made me tired. And after I had to walk home, when I came through the back gate, I just laid on the swing in the backyard and fell asleep. And I just woke up. I didn't even realize what time it was. And she told him, you removed that swing 5 years ago. And he told her, well, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. and that's how a lot of people go through life. They want to keep defending all of their bad choices, all of their bad habits, all of their bad behaviors. And the only person they're lying to is themselves. You know, well, I'm not going to say the only, the most common strongholds in our lives are our past failures and mistakes. You ever notice when you're driving your vehicle how big the windshield is and how small the rear view mirror is? The rear view mirror is there so you can see what you left behind. The windshield is bigger so you can have a broader vision on where you want to go. But so many people keep looking in the rear view mirror and then wonder why they end up having a crash. You know, sometimes we're at the right place at the right time, but we had a wrong thought process. And we don't even realize we had a wrong thought process. Opportunities present themselves all the time to us, but we're not mentally prepared to receive them. And so, you know, it kind of reminds me of a cartoon strip I read years ago. Most of you are familiar with Ziggy. And Ziggy came home one day, and Ziggy saw a note on his door that said, "I knocked, but no one answered." And it was signed "Opportunity." And so, you don't want to go through your life missing opportunity time and time again. You know, if you want to see if you can swim, don't waste your time in the shallow water. You know, you can go to the pool and the beach right now, and you'll see somebody always hanging around the edge trying to stick their foot in the water and see how cold the water is. The best thing to do is to jump right in. Get it over with. You know, finish it off. And so, in the eyes of average people, average looks great. You know, we need to be enthusiastic about what we're pursuing in life. We need to be enthusiastic anyway, because challenges are going to continue to show up in our lives. And if we're not enthusiastic all the time, if we don't have a positive attitude and a mentality, positive mentality all the time, the first sign of challenge is gonna hurt us. You know, we're gonna go hide in the corner. We're gonna tuck our tail and run home. You know, so in the eyes of average people, average looks great. You know, we normally live in neighborhoods where our average incomes are about the same. We normally hang out with friends whose income is about the average of ours. You know, that's just the way it is. You know, as Pat Riley said, don't let other people tell you what you want. And a lot of times those people can be our parent. You know, they tell you as a kid what you want to be or what you're going to be. And you're not even thinking for yourself. I speak at a lot of career day events in high schools and middle schools. Now, bad enough in high school you have no clue on what you want to do with your life. Now they've started expanding it to middle school. These kids are at a point where they're basically trying to find themselves, and you're trying to force them into thinking about a career when they should be thinking like kids. You know, and a lot of us get to college and we choose undeclared majors because we still don't know what we want to do with life. And some people even graduate with general studies degrees. You know, and that's a person that really didn't know what they want to do with life. So how can we tell kids in middle school you need to be thinking about a career, and grown folks still don't know? You know, if you think you're doing better than the average person, you are an average person. And let me explain to you what average means. Let's say you're sitting in tropical sunny Hawaii and your hair's on fire and you're sitting on a block of ice. On the average, you should be okay. You know, we have a lot of men who talk about they're self-made. And you know, normally when you hear somebody say that, they're missing a few parts. You know, the man who believes in nothing but himself lives in a very small world. You know, they walk around with a big head and arms long enough to pat themselves on the back. You know, it is usually those people who don't have dreams or visions of their own who want to take a vote on everything that concerns your life. People who are part of a group tend to agree on courses of action that they as individuals know are not right. You know, whenever you make your mark in life, you're going to always attract erasers. You know, I know a lot of people in our lifetime use the word compromise. And let me tell you a quick story about that. One day a hunter came across a bear in the woods. The bear said to the hunter, "I want a full stomach." The hunter said, "Well, I want a fur coat." The bear said, let's compromise, and he ate the man. As a result, they both got what they wanted. The bear got full and the man was wrapped in fur. You know, a lot of times we'll hear people say they make choices, they chose the lesser of two evils. Well, when you have to decide on the lesser of two evils, you should choose neither. You'll be able to sleep better at night. You know, we can't compromise on our dreams and goals. When compromise happens in one area of our life, it becomes easy to compromise in other areas as well. You know, don't compromise on your dream. Be a person of integrity. You know, our reputation is all we really have. And it takes a lifetime to build a good name. And it only takes a few seconds to destroy it. How many people do we know have fall into that category? You know, which one of us is more foolish? A child who's afraid of the dark or an adult who is afraid of the light? You know, as children, there are a lot of things that terrify us. So with good reason, we're scared. But as adults, we get to the point where we don't want to see the truth. You know, our finances are bad, but we don't want to put all of our bills and installment debt on the table in front of us so we can see where we actually are financially. Our health is suffering, but we don't want to change our eating and exercise habits to improve our health. Our relationships are suffering, and we continue to wait for the other person to make the first move. The light, or the truth, whichever one you want to call it, is sitting right in front of us, but we refuse to address it like it's going to automatically disappear. It's not going to disappear until we address it. You know, we can't keep sweeping dirt under the rug. Eventually, the dirt under the rug is going to create a lump in the middle of your floor, and you're going to eventually trip over it. You know, we get to an older age, and we have developed serious health issues because we refuse to address these things early in life. We get older and we realize that we don't have enough money to live on in our later years because we ignored all the warning signs that was happening in our economy. We ignored all the warning signs that, hey, you know, I might have got a 2% raise, but that loaf of bread increased 15%. And then you wonder why you can't get ahead. You know, you're going to there's no way you're going to save your way to have enough money. You're going to have to out-earn higher prices. You know, we get so concerned with how many years of life we have instead of add more life to our years. You know, how many things have you put off because you were short of money? You know, we have to eliminate the foggy areas in our lives. You know, when things are clouded, it makes it very hard to see what needs to be done and which direction we need to head. You know, when was the last time you actually thought about your dreams and goals? I mean, just think about it. Think back to maybe when you were a teenager and think about some things you said you wanted to do in life. You know, when was the last time you thought about those things? You know, my wife and I were watching TV the other day, and I don't watch much TV, and it was an image of Paris, and I asked my wife, I said, would you like to go to Paris? And she said yes. So now we have a new dream on top of the ones we already have in place. You know, never stop dreaming. You know, I read a quote the other day, and it was saying, once you accomplish your dream, chase your dreams until you accomplish it. And then once you accomplish it, create some more dreams and chase them some more. You know, chase your dreams and goals. Dreams and goals keep you excited. Trust me on that one. When was the last time you set a goal on your own and actually accomplished it? Have you demanded enough from yourself? Have you inspired those people around you that depend on you? Have you put forth your best effort so far? If we are truly honest, have we actually put our best efforts forward? Only you can answer that. I can't answer that for you. You know, the right train of thought will take us to better destinations in life. You know, we have to change our thinking if our current thinking is not producing the results that we're striving for. We are the happiest when we figure out what we should be doing and the things that we're actually doing are the same thing. You know, accentuate your good points and hide the bad ones. You know, nobody needs to know about what you did 5 years ago that wasn't positive. Don't tell them. If you're in the process of growing and changing, you're going to lose some friends who refuse to grow. That's just part of life. I mean, you don't keep in touch with everybody you went to elementary school with. Just think about it. You have to learn how to grow and create new friendships. When we set goals, we become more efficient with our time. When we don't have goals, you know, what we tend to do is get caught up in what's on TV. You know, I think the Houston Rockets played last night, and I think they lost again. And so many people get caught up in the referee stole a game from us, or the referee did this, or this player did this, and you know, and all this other stuff. We get so emotionally wrapped up in stuff that doesn't concern us. And I like athletic events, but we spend majority of our daytime hours working on somebody else's dreams and goals, and then we come home and watch somebody else working in their dreams and goals. And so if we're doing all this time with other people's dreams and goals, when are we gonna work on ours? We tend to not to want to engage in activities that are not moving us in the direction of our goals when we set goals and become more efficient with our time. And we get irritated when others want to monopolize our time.